in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. It's a drawing room. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, joined by the fellas.
Which fellas?
Cowboy Super Yeah.
Let's go, baby. I'm a little under the weather, guys, so if I sound a little weird, that boy.
I love it. Get that sultry voice. Also joining us, it's downtown Duane Brown.
I have my sleepy voice on after that match. I'm sleepy. Let's talk about that game.
This was the most boring game of the year.
It was so hot.
Far.
I could have taken a nap on press row. I was ready. It was just sweltering, boring. It was just man, let's get into it. Drawing room 1-1. Rapids give up the most 2023 Rapids goal of all time right at the half on just the easiest chance of the night for either team. And you're like, okay, that sucks. Hopefully you find something. They come out with some energy. Don't capitalize on any of those chances until Keegan puts a great ball in the box. Defender has nowhere to clear it except into the back of the net. Own goal. And that's pretty much all she wrote. You get a few chances, and we'll get into that more as we go. But for the most part, that was about that was about it. I think there's some storylines to get into here. Armas at the start of a 3-game week, going into a game against ALLCITY, who you're hoping to find some position on, and RSL at home uses just 3 subs after the 70th minute on the hottest night of the year. Which to me is kind of the story of it, but let's get in. Let's get into the game itself. Anything you guys want to jump on first before we jump into the flow of the game?
Just that real quick. It is insane by a lot that this is the game that you decide to go all out with your starters. An Eastern Conference opponent, game needs a little less. You kind of are right in that spot. You could have just put a little bit more rotation in this starting 11, and it would have made way more sense because then you face 2 heavy hitters in LA Galaxy and RSL.
It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Red Bull was not trying in this game. They sat in the mid block so they could run as little as possible both directions. It was just like they were not interested in this game. They were walking. They were wasting time. It took 45 seconds every time the keeper got his hands on a ball. It was a boring slog, and somehow Chris Armas going for it didn't get it, which was kind of new when this, we've seen lately this team can be clutch late, but they couldn't find anything, and it ended up being a boring draw. So why not just rotate it? You're right. That was actually a perfect point there, Yahya. Why not? Okay. Starters, you already said Omir and Carroll, Cole in the Georgie spot, Ollie and Ronan. Lawless continuing to start. I thought Lawless had a pretty good game, actually. We can get into him later. Bench, KSB finally on the bench. He had been off the injury report for a while, but hadn't made it onto the actual game day roster for a while. So it was good to see him there and actually get some minutes.
Also, congrats to him. He got called up for the U21, I think, Canadian team.
Well, it's CONCACAF has weird ages for those, right? It's Is it U20?
It's something like that. But congrats to him, man, getting called up.
Absolutely. He leaves on Monday for Canada.
That. So shout out.
We got some national team guys from Canada on this team. Kind of interesting. Didn't see that one coming. Red Bull comes out
USA Canada.
Yeah, the Canadian pipeline through Commerce City. Okay, let's see here. Red Bull gets a corner 40 seconds into this game, and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be an Armas versus Red Bulls game. All right, let's go. Giddy up. Less than, a few minutes later, Cabral running the other way, gets that foul, and you're like, okay, this is going to be fun. All right, let's go. Set pieces. But really, it just ended up not being much, right? Like, they teased us early, settled in, pretty boring. We found out early that Calvin Harris injured his groin in warmups, so they were down a available bench player. because it was too late for roster submission to change. That sweet chance from Rafa. I thought he was going to have a knee goal like Georgie on that pass in that kind of deflected a little bit.
Yeah, he also had that other one on the bottom right where it just kind of barely missed. He should have gone for a little bit more power at that one too.
Yeah, he had that great dribble. He got away from guys twice there.
Yeah, Rafa
right
had
after that.
He had a weird night tonight for sure.
I agree.
It's almost like he was there, but he just missed so many open opportunities, and you saw the work rate from him again, but just nothing really took you over the top like you wanted to do.
That was my only note until after the hydration break, until 35 minutes. Zach Seven, massive save. Nealis gets free one-on-one. Zach just nails in a one-on-one. I think there were some flashbacks for Rapids fans there, right? To days of old. And he closed the space, got big, and had a massive save. I thought he was pretty good in that first half. And then they go the other way, and Ollie has that nice shot, right? You have Rafa in the box, finds Ollie streaking in. It was kind of a Cole-style play there from them. So just kind of cements the fact that those four guys can all kind of just play wherever, right? Like Ollie did his best Cole impersonation on that one. And you're like, man, okay, we made it to halftime. 2 minutes goes up on the board. Perfect. And then Lewis Morgan alone in the box buries one.
Oh, that Lewis Morgan. Dude, I'm not even mad at the Rapids drew tonight. I'm mad at that Lewis Morgan scored on this team. That's what I'm pissed off about. He's been on a cold streak. You can't be the one to get him back. If he gets hot and it's because of you, man, I'm going to be mad. And there's just hater talk right now. Like, I don't even know Lewis Morgan. I don't dislike the guy, but that's bullshit, man. I hate when my teams give the guy kind of that extra edge they needed.
Man, some real hater energy. I love that.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, so halftime, I had to pull up their stats about how they do when they're losing at halftime. This and they are 0-4-1. Well, now 0-4-2. Duane, where was your head at there at halftime? And did you have any hope for a win there?
I always have hope for a win, but I was pretty down at halftime. That goal was a complete, like all of the Rapids fell apart, and it started with Stefan. He kicked the ball, and I'm not even sure it got past the kickoff line. Like it might have been one of the weakest kicks I've ever seen from a keeper. And I was like, oh man, that kick, like I audibly said it because Catherine looked at me. I was like, oh man, that was a bad kick. And it just went downhill right after that. Like everybody fell apart. And, I had commented to you guys during the game, like I got kicked right in the 2023 and I was down. I was down, so down. But it was, I'm hopeful. 45 minutes is still a long time to come back. We got real lucky with it. A point's a point, but looking at LAFC and RSL both dropping points tonight, like we'd only be 3 out. Which is, it's tough, man, because I feel like we could have beat this team. And I thought we were going to come out swinging harder with this, all of the hype with, Armas against his old team. Like, I thought there was going to be a plan really to just steamroll them. And it feels like,
well,
it kind of wasn't.
Coming out of halftime, right? Coming out of halftime, I thought there was a ton of energy there. Both Omir and Kevin both worked. They worked both sides of the attack. I think for the first 10 or so minutes, they came out looking ready to get that equalizer, leading up to Rafa getting fouled right there on the edge of the box. Dangerous foul, man. That was very close to it. It was definitely not in the box, but
it was a foot out.
That was
Why are you
have
doing
some
that
balls to not
Yeah.
to foul like that, right? Like very close to a penalty.
Man, Red Bull played very physical today. It was everybody super physical, but I kind of liked it. I think that's something the Rapids are kind of missing. Guys that can just get down, get dirty, and stop the play when you need to kind of just get a point or grind things out. And I think that's kind of what the Rapids are missing right now.
Yeah, man.
Tonight was like a great CONCACAF game. I loved it. It was physical. It's like we were watching Copa America. Like, that's what I like. But especially because there were pockets of moments when both teams opened up and had like back and forth opportunities. That's kind of the fun part of that because it's a very tactical game. But it's also can make for a boring game if those goals don't actually go in.
Yeah, they can't capitalize on that free kick. Goes out for a corner. Corner does nothing. Finally, Omir finds himself right there at the top of the box. Looks like their best chance, and he sends it straight into catching practice for the keeper. Moments later, gets the ball again, sends post. And then in that recycle, Keegan sends that cross in. And, I mean, textbook, right? That's exactly where you want to put the ball. Make it dangerous. Keep it low. Make some junk happen. And Nealis, who gave them the goal, also gave the Rapids the goal. The only goal scorer in a 1-1 draw. I mean, it was that was the best play of the night that they generated, I thought.
Then
it slows down.
That's like a full-on. It's not going to go down, but Ollie did so much work in that little sequence just to keep the play alive. That's it. That's Ollie's goal. And even if the Red Bulls defender didn't actually hit it in, I think Rafa was right there too. He would have also just banked it right in.
Right. I mean, we thought it was a Rafa goal for a sec just from our angle up top. But I mean, then it slows down. Like, then it really just turns into a sloppy mess of a game. Omir gets hurt, so J-Lu comes on. I'm sure Duane was very excited about the J-Lu sub.
I didn't know that Harris was injured, so I didn't know that, so I was pretty mad that it wasn't Harris because I just wanted Harris. I wanted Omir out earlier because I didn't want him to get hurt anymore. Like, he was getting banged up pretty bad, and so I was talking to Yaya, and I was just like, you got to pull Omir out and put Harris in. Like, let's get Calvin in. I was not aware that Calvin. So, I mean, knowing that, I mean, Lewis is your next best call, you know? Like, you got to keep the speed up at that situation. So, it was the right sub.
And you have to reward the goal, and I mean, I get it. But, man, it's like, 75th minute when that sub happens. And it is, I mean, I was sitting, with cold water bottles and a cold Diet Coke typing, and I was sweaty and hot and miserable. And yet he doesn't make any changes for 75 minutes. I mean, that was, I don't get it. And I hope, I asked the fellows on press row to ask a question in the press conference. Hopefully there's some sort of clarification there, because either you're planning on punting the Galaxy game to be ready for RSL, or you don't trust your bench, right? That's kind of the only two answers to run your guys into the ground on the hottest night of the year. Which is it?
Is that rhetorical?
I'm going to be very
I don't know.
disappointed.
Could be. Do you want to answer it?
It's the bench. The bench. That's what it is. But we're not seeing a lot of points come.
Well, you have to, though.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just you're asking.
I think the sub has scored a goal in 3 straight games or something. Sure.
And I was about to ask this question that James in the comment section and Toyota chat just asked. Would you put? He says he would punt Wednesday against Galaxy. Would you guys punt on Wednesday, or is that a game you're trying to win to try to move up the standings, or is RSL way more important to you? Okay, that's what I thought too.
Game.
Well, I mean, it would be more important to you. I don't know.
Every point
I
is
don't know.
important.
I
to
don't
me.
like it.
You win every game you can.
Yes.
If you think you can beat LA Galaxy, then you start your best players and you beat them. If you lose to RSL, you lose to RSL. But you never punt. That I just never purpose. I mean,
No.
for as much as every fan complains about losing points, like to purposely put yourself in position to lose points, unforgivable
Right.
for me. And that's why I'm not an MLS
to be fair,
coach.
The last game week like this, right? With I believe it was St. Louis was the midweek game. It was also a hot, humid, gnarly game. And the only rotation in that week was one winger spot, and Sam Vines was injured, missed the first two, right? And then I think he rotated. I think Seb started one game, Jackson started the other, and then Vinesy and Keegan were back for the third game. But that was the rotation. Like, he does not rotate the squad regardless of weather, heat, schedule congestion, big opponents. And I think that to me signals when the window opens on Tuesday. I think the transfer window opens Monday. You need to find some depth, right? You need to be able to trust a couple guys to spot start when the schedule gets congested and it's crazy hot. Instead of running these guys into the ground, Cole's run the most, he's run like almost 200 miles this year, like in games. That's crazy. That's insane.
It's really crazy that they brought in Jasper Loffelson, and he still hasn't gotten a lot of minutes. You have him right there. Why not bring him in? Like, you brought him in for a reason. Give him a couple more minutes. Like,
he's just sprinted down.
Like, get Ollie out of there. Like, Ollie had a great game. You're clearly not let Ollie take a rest. Bring in Loffelson 1-for-1 instead of going with this weird, like, kind of double striker thing that I personally really don't like that much, especially with Yappy and Rafa. They're just they're not just there as a pair, in my opinion. But it felt so weird to see him do that kind of stuff instead of taking Rafa, taking Ollie off, and giving your guys a little bit more rest on the hottest day of Colorado so far. Like, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense, but I did like. I mean, if you're going for it, right, you have about 10 minutes left. If you're going for it, you say we're going to get a winner here. We've been clutch late for the last month or so. I like pulling a midfielder, right, having Ronan and Cole drop back, putting Yappy and Rafa together up top, really working the flanks. Conceptually, makes sense. But it felt like a little too late. Like it just was, I don't know. It seemed tough. You get to stoppage time without a lot of chances, 6 minutes added on. Keegan had a couple long throws that I thought were actually really good. They did I think he found Maxu on one, found Ollie on another, couldn't turn it into something. And then Red Bull wasted, it was like, keeper gets it, 45 seconds to punt it, like, okay, goal kick, 45 seconds, walk into everything, wasted 6 minutes, 1-1 draw. That's the game. That's all she wrote. That's it. Let's jump into an ad break and then let's collect ourselves. I almost put myself to sleep reading that game recap there.
It was reflective of the game.
I'm muted because I'm being a mouth breather right now, like so I have to like keep myself muted so I can't react constantly.
Okay, let's we're gonna talk about some friends here. On the other side, we'll talk about our takeaways from the game. We'll look at some game grades, picture stuff before we get into flowers later. But first, of course, we have our newest friends, and honestly, maybe some of our best friends we've had on this show. It's Lucy Nicotine. 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco free. You got pouches, gum, and breakers. Just throw one in. I had one in during that second half. Nice mellow, 4 milli, mango. The breakers are cool too. They basically are just like your flavored pouches for nicotine. They have an extra little pop in there that saturates it and just adds extra flavor to it. There's mint, berry citrus, espresso, wintergreen, apple ice, all sorts of fun different flavors. Those breakers are in 4 milligram or 8 milligram. If you don't like pouches, totally get it. There's gum, 2 milligram, 4 milligram, 6 milligram, tons of choices, tons of levels of nicotine milligrams in there. And the best thing is you can just have a subscription. They'll just literally show up to your door. No problem. No questions asked. Right to your door, right to your mailbox. You can just keep it going, whether it's weekly or daily or however often you need to go get them. Just have Lucy do it. They'll send you a big old pack. Yeah. What's your favorite lately from Lucy?
I'm still the wintergreen kind of guy myself.
Yeah, of course.
I just kind of roll with that. That's
Love the wintergreen. We'll level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/rapids and use promo code rapids to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping, has 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co and use code rapids to get 20% off and always free shipping. We're also brought to you today by the homies Toyota. Oh, that's right. We love Toyota. We love them so much. We made them the official vehicle of DNVR. I got Highlander was rolling tonight from DSGP to here. And I just love it. Love Toyota. Love driving Toyota. I've driven Toyota literally as long as I've been driving cars. I've been driving Toyotas. And if you want to level up there's plenty of trucks that are just right for you and right for Colorado. You get the 2024 Tacoma, one of their 16 hybrid vehicles. You can get the Tundra iForce Max hybrid if you want to get a big old truck that's also good for the environment. Sounds like a win-win. They're even bringing back the 2024 Land Cruiser. 17 different models with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the 2024 4Runner. Everything you need. SUVs like the Highlander, like I have the Grand Highlander or RAV4. Everything you need from Toyota for Colorado. You can visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain State Toyota in Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of Colorado Rapids and the official vehicle of DNVR. All right, we're back. DNVR Rapids, hanging out in the drawing room late on a Saturday night. It's a little cozy drawing room in here, guys. Maybe throw on a smoking jacket, light up a cigar, swirl some brandy in a glass.
Jackets.
That's true. But smoking jackets are jackets. They're cool looking. Yeah. It's a major vibe with a smoking jacket. Get it embroidered with something cool, like a nickname or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll all get matching DNVR Rapids smoking jackets. That'd be fun. Okay. Anything is more interesting than talking about this game tonight. Real quick, if you're watching on Twitter, jump over to YouTube. Throw a thumbs up. Jump in the comments in the Toyota chat. Hang out with the fellas and talk through this. Whatever else is left to talk about. No, okay. But do you guys want to do FOP mod stuff or do you want to talk takeaways?
I think takeaways. There's not going to be a lot of FOP mod. Everybody was just an average.
Average is generous, but yes, I agree.
Okay, takeaways. My biggest takeaway is that Ollie has definitely leveled up in the last couple of games. He has taken a different role now that Rodin's playing next to him, and he's excelling at every rate. He is playing like Cole was playing. Like I like both of them together, Rodin and Ollie. They feel like they've really found a great partnership right there.
I was really impressed with Ollie tonight. Worked great. He was great in aerial duels. I thought he was able to get ahead on all those long balls, a lot of clearances. Really involved around the box. I mean, true box to box guy tonight. Which isn't necessarily has always been his role, with the first team this year, but on the hottest of the year, he was everywhere he needed to be. I was actually he was one of the few guys I was super impressed with tonight. Really, really good stuff. Duane, how about you? What was your big takeaway tonight?
My big takeaway tonight is that we may have some bench problems We talked about this a little bit in the first half of the show, but the bench depth, one injury like we see to Harris tonight, and then you get into, okay, who do we put in now? You got KSB heading to Canada for the national team. If Harris is still out, depending on the severity of it, like a groin takes a long time to heal in a very running sport like soccer. If Lewis were to go down, we would really be in some trouble. So, you said,
especially KSB leaves on Monday,
Yeah. So it's window open soon. Maybe this is what we needed. This was the cold water in the face that we needed of, oh man, like we need to work on some depth because we were getting into the rough part of the season. Guys have been playing all season so far. We're halfway through. We're playing 3 games a week. Leagues Cup is coming. Then playoff push. Guys are only going to continue to get tired, especially with as much as the Rapids run and the work rate that our guys put in. It's hard to keep that, that work rate up for an entire season. So it's something I hadn't thought much about until tonight. And I think that's one of the big takeaways, is, the depth of this team and what kind of moves are going to happen to help with that during the window.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I hadn't even thought about that until right now. So you mentioned it. We already saw Omir go down. KSB's gone. And what's going to happen if somebody like Cabral, what if Cabral or
Omir or Lewis
go down? Well, we already saw Omir kind of got hurt today.
Yeah.
So you already have a very
Cole will go wide and you start Loffelson probably.
Yeah, but then you're in a deficit of talent. That's the issue.
Right. You could start Yappy wide too. Like he's comfortable out there. You could start Yappy on the left if you need to.
This is no offense to those guys, but it's like
no, I know what you mean.
Level of talent. No, in case they're watching or somebody, their family members. I don't mean that as an offense. I mean it more like that's
care, huh?
I care for. I want to make sure they know, man. Like, I'm not trying to diss on them because I'm not. I'm like there is a very clear talent level, and then you also have Keegan going away for the All-Star game. So is he going to be tired? How much is he going to do out there? What is it actually going to be? And it's just you need to have better depth. I think you're good defensively for the most part. You've seen that Lawless can bring a lot of things, but maybe you bring in another left back that can get from competition to Sammy, and maybe that lights a fire under his ass and gets going some more. It all kind of depends, right? There's going to be a lot of little.
You could recall Navarro.
Chacon ready to go.
Chacon looks good. Yeah, man. There's a lot there. I'm sure. I mean, I think we could get into that this week. We might have to find some time to do a studio show this week just to kind of talk about the window and talk about preview Salt Lake, have a Salt cast, true Rocky Mountain Cup up for grabs game at home. Lots to talk about there. Who do you guys think was the highest rated Rapid tonight, according to FOTMob? This is the first time I've seen this guy be the highest rated Rapid this season. I'm kind of shocked.
Oh, maybe not Ollie.
I'm gonna say it was Sam Vines.
If not Ollie, then I say Cabral are the two. I thought
he was tied with Sam for the lowest. It was Zach Steffen.
Oh yeah. I don't even think Sam was good, but I'm like, there's a curveball. It felt like a curveball.
Zach Steffen. 90 minutes played, 6 saves, 2 diving saves, 2 times acting as a sweeper keeper, 2 saves inside the box, decently accurate on passing. He was good. I don't know if it was great, but it was good. It was good. I don't know. Not much to say.
He saved the Rapids a few times, honestly.
Yes.
If it wasn't for him, the goalkeepers were the stars of the show tonight. Like if it wasn't for them two, this could have been 3-4, 4-5. We've seen it before with the Red Bulls. Like the Rapids like to play the same way. But honestly, the goalies did a really good job tonight, and they kept the game boring and with no real opportunities.
And that's what we thought on the show. It was gonna come down to the goalies tonight. So
yeah,
and it did.
Jared in the Toyota chat brings up the one-on-one save against Nealis. I mean, that was we talked about it when we were doing the game recap, but that's textbook right there, right? That you teach guys how to save one-on-one like that. I mean, that was money.
Man, the commentary in Spanish was great for that.
Started
talking, they started saying he stands at 6'4", but when he extends himself, it's like you see LeBron James out there, and I was like, damn.
I was talking to one of those guys in the press box. They were really cool. So Ronan and Omir tie at 7-5, Keegan and Rafa at 7-2, and then everyone else is below 7. Which I'm surprised because I thought it would be Wigar and Max who had pretty nice games. All right, we are going to take a super quick short break, and then we're going to get into Flowers. So we will be right back. All right, we're back. Welcome back, DNVR Rapids. Hanging with the fellas late night. It's Duane, it's Yahya, it's me, Mitch, hanging out. And we're going to get into everybody's favorite segment. Our favorite segment, the segment we do the most. It is Flowers from the Fellas.
It's our only segment as well.
We have stuff. You're right. You're right. Shout out Super Producer Emma live from Vegas, commenting from Vegas. Go do Vegas stuff. Why are you watching this?
I know that's barely getting started in Vegas.
You can do so many more things than watch this post-game show.
It's such a weird choice, Emma.
It could be like that sometimes.
Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, who's up first? I think it's Yaya.
Oh, dude, I've been gushing over this guy the whole show. It's gonna be Ollie for me. Ollie's game again, man. Today, he was so he felt eloquent out there. Mm-hmm. He felt eloquent when he was playing, but he also felt like a bulldog at all times. It's somebody you don't mess with, and I love that from Ollie. I thought today was his best game by far all year long. Like, he's just been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought his energy was high. You know, he ran all over the place. I don't have a distance ran or anything like that, but he hit that over 60 touches mark that we like to see from the Rapids midfielders to show that middle of the field's getting involved. Defensively, he was fine. Passing, he completed 44-50, so the ball went through Ollie tonight, and usually good things happen when that happens. So good call. Duane, you're up, my guy.
I mean, the numbers aren't showing it apparently on FOB.
Sure.
However, every game Cabral gets better to me.
Correct.
Before Rafa started scoring goals, we were like, man, I wish he'd score some goals. But you know what? He's really good at everything that's not scoring goals. And that's kind of the role that Cabral has been playing the last few games. I mean, that guy is just both ends of the field, full out sprinting, just a killer defensive save tonight.
Yep.
I just, for all the hate that guy got last year and even this year, like he's done nothing but respond well under this coaching staff and has focused on being a complete player, and maybe that's the secret, is not worrying about having to score a goal every game, but maybe it's just being a good soccer player, which is a silly thing to say for a pro athlete, but I mean, that's what we're seeing him do every game, just a little bit more. He's starting to do those, off the ball Rafa things that we've been complimenting Rafa on all season. So
totally
give him some flowers, man.
31 touches from him tonight.
It really feels like he learned how to use his speed, right? Like, now he realizes how quickly he is. He just doesn't run with guys. He's passing these dudes. He looks like a deer out there at this point.
What made me happy was
I thought he was great.
during the Apple broadcast, they finally agreed with my words. They started referring to his work as having some sweet feet on Kevin Cabral. And I was like,
Downtown
oh man,
Duane
see, it's
Sweet
not
Feet
just
Brown.
me sing it.
Hey, that's trademark. You guys better pay Duane.
It's too
That's right,
late.
Apple. Pay up.
Damn it.
I also like how feisty Cabral was tonight, by the way. They were super physical with him, and he was not reacting the first half. Second half, he came out, he's like, I'm tired of this. He started throwing elbows. He started throwing his own body around. He fought back, and I'm like, damn, Cabral wants it today.
It was
he
awesome.
wanted all the smoke.
I thought he was good. He was drawing fouls too, and like I know that's like the most Cabral thing ever. Is like his contribution is either during drawing a penalty or a free kick on the wing there. But a team that leads the league in set piece goals, getting those fouls down the wing when he's sprinting away from somebody is really, really helpful. Especially when you have guys like Cole, Ollie, Ronan, Georgie, Sam, guys that can put the ball into dangerous places from a set piece like that. It's really important. So you're right, Duane. That's a really good shout. And the game grades aren't going to love his game, but I think overall it was pretty good. Not a lot to choose from tonight. I'm going to give it to Stefan. I know we just talked about him, but he was good. Great save. That one, I think the one low light led to the goal, right? But as Rapids goalkeepers go, giveth and taketh, man. There's you live with it and you die by it. So
it could have been 5-1 without some of those saves.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
He really he kept the Rapids in it for sure.
No, he was very good.
Honestly, if he just would have kicked it a little bit farther there would have been no mistake.
I know.
Yep. Would have been the perfect game, and the Rapids would have won.
Yeah. I mean, 3 points and a boring win. I think the tone among the three of us in this whole episode is very different, right? Like,
of course.
I think we're talking like, all right, great. You took it easy. You won. Great. You're going into LA on a streak. But man, just a frustrating draw. Okay. Yeah. You got any other flowers to give?
The flower store closed, man. I'm sorry. Like,
okay, Duane.
No, it was a game.
I think the Maxu Lawless backline pairing get a flower. They can share a flower. But I thought they were good.
I have one last one. Shout out Bombi. So damn close to walking away with that third place medal in their first ever Copa America appearance. Shout out Bombi, dude. You scored that penalty. You had an assist.
Yeah.
You got beat in that goal. We get it. It happens. But shout out, man. You had a great game, great tournament. Hopefully you're a Rapid for a while.
Come back and win a Rocky Mountain Cup for us. Right?
Much bigger deal. Much bigger deal.
Much bigger deal.
The Bombster.
Actually, I have some flowers. Some surprising flowers, really. Are you ready? I'm giving 3 flowers to 1 each to Dallas, Portland, and Columbus. All 3 of them got 3 points off of Galaxy, RSL, and LAFC. So 1 point closer to the top. Those 2 extra would have been nice on a night like tonight, but you'll take the progress towards the top of the table. But man, Columbus dropping 5 on LAFC.
Columbus is so freaking good.
Columbus is winning it all again, man. I'm sorry whether you have Messi or not. There's a rate train in Columbus you got to get through.
Cucho seems to finally have settled. I mean, finally, but it was a rough start to the season for him, and he's flying. So, man, Portland's smacking RSL for us too. That was dope.
Yeah, Portland and Vancouver are right behind us, but
which is why you don't punt on Wednesday.
Yeah, you can't punt because then you start.
There's your answer again.
So
never punt in soccer
ever.
Yep. It's what is
no. Please punt, but just punt farther, Zach Steffen. Punt farther. Really full send on the punt if you're gonna punt. I've said that word too much. It sounds fake. Now it just sounds like a sound. It doesn't sound like a word. Punt. 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 That's stall meaning. Okay, should we let's do a little housekeeping here this week. Obviously, with the 2-game week, the plan is right now to just have the post game Wednesday, post game Saturday. If anything pops up in the transfer window or any big news comes through, we can obviously hop on a show somewhere in the midweek there. It would be fun to maybe talk a little pre-shit to RSL before the game on the pod. But as of now, that's the plan. Am I right?
Yep, that's what I think.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Man, are we missing anything? Are we missing anything from tonight?
I don't think so right now.
It's just one of those games, man. It was a game. Soccer happened.
There was a game.
Each team got a point.
Let's just say people gathered. Because I don't think that was people gathered tonight at the stadium.
Some soccer happened a little bit.
Okay, I'm just looking through the through Burgundy Wave, talking about the game. They're trying to talk about the press conference. I don't see much. Chris Armas said it felt like a 0.1 because they came back, which I guess.
No, I mean he's not going to say it's feels like
why not
lost.
Yeah,
bring some fire. Let's go.
It's not Armas vibes, man. That's his vibe.
But I think sometimes you gotta light a fire.
Do you think there's a lead Tasso version of Chris Armas that pops out once a season?
Yeah, what could be
where he's just like a total asshole to everybody?
Arif? What would it be? Arif?
I don't know. Eris Karmas?
Eris Karmas? No, because the A's still there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gotta be Crams.
I don't know. But that would be hilarious. Let's see. Omir, they're still not sure on total on the injury. Probably not too hurt, but a little knock, I think, was the term used. Harris, the groin issue. Decided to rest him to have him available on Wednesday. So my guess is it's a Harris Cabral pairing on the wings on Wednesday. Duane, here's some news for you.
I can't wait to hear it.
You'll love this. Rapids Unified win 5-1.
Let's go.
We love Unified.
Oh man, I miss seeing them play. I know this was their only home game this year, but woo, that's a beating. Way to go, Unified.
Good for them. They rock.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm out of stuff. Yeah, you want to plug us out of here or what?
DNVR_Rapids on Twitter. Please follow us there. We'd really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're on Twitter, jump over to the YouTube channel and give us a quick thumbs up. This is also an audio podcast where you can find us wherever you hear your podcast, and give us a 5-star review while you're there. We'd really, really appreciate it.
Duane.
Yeah, do all that stuff and drink some water because it's so hot outside.
Yeah.
That's how I'm plugging it.
I'm going to plug going to the movies tomorrow. I'm very excited.
What are you seeing?
Long Legs.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Yeah. Spoopy movie in the summer. Love a good summer horror flick. I also want to see Quiet Place still. But maybe that's a watch it at home. Who knows?
I want to see both of those.
Pull Kevin up there. Okay, Kevin. Good night from the bottom bunk of loneliness.
Who gets an Airbnb with bunk beds?
Yeah. Oh, he broke me. Oh my god. Oh boy. Okay. Well, go.
Well, good luck to you, Kevin and Becky.
Yeah. Oh geez. Go
enjoy your day at summer camp in your bunk beds.
Jesus Christ! I never went to like a real classic summer camp situation. You did?
Yeah, it sounds exactly like what Kevin and Becky are doing.
I went to like some like true like camping kind of summer stuff, but I never did like the tons of cabins, mess hall,
do the cabins
activities thing.
I did the cabins in 5th grade. I went one time. Penny just went to summer camp for the first time.
I honestly thought that was all fake till I turned like 18. I thought that was just all part of movies. Like I didn't know
Parent Trap lied to you.
Camp. Yeah, I thought they were like it was just a movie thing. I didn't know camps were real for the longest time.
You thought Heavyweights lied to you?
Yes, I did.
I love that movie. Shout out Heavyweights. All right, become diehards at the DNVR.com. You can find the paywall. You can get in the Discord channels. There's all sorts of content from all the beats. Well, except us. You're not going to find us back there, but you will find Nugget stuff and Hoggy stuff and all sorts of stuff heading into training camp for the Broncos. All sorts of stuff going on. Oh, yeah. Discounts to like everything we do, whether that's events or the bar itself or the locker. And you get free merch when you sign up. So do all that. Super important. Really helps us out. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And even after the most boring game of the summer, up the Pids.
We all silly like the mayor.